Morning, Jen. Can you hear me? She can't see me. Can you hear me?
I can't hear her now.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
I was just gonna let you know that how I put the packets together for the commissioners is the really large sheet with the health rates.
Okay.
Then I have the dental and the vision. Then I have the life insurance. And then lastly, I have the the cost share options that you put together.
Okay.
Just so that's how their packets are in order.
Okay, perfect.
I guess I can go get them.
All right.
You gonna be here or you're here on behalf of Teamsters?
I'm here. I just found out about it this morning, but
Oh, shoot, sorry.
I
Okay.
looked at the website and I'm like, we have negotiations at 10 o'clock.
And Craig said they moved him to
Yeah.
10:30.
Yep.
Okay. Trina is sitting in as well.
Yep.
She
See her.
reads this much better than I do, so.
So Trina, this is to better explain the cost shares.
What's that?
So we're meeting now at 9:30 to go over cost share options and then again at 1:30 to present to the board, or is this replacing that meeting?
Well, this is replacing that meeting. I think that the board just wanted you to come early so that they weren't distracted by the rest of the meeting. This way they can
Oh,
questions and then they can maybe make a decision. You know,
understood. Yeah.
I think that they just stare at you at the regular meeting, so maybe they'll actually ask you questions this
A
time.
little more interactive this way. I got, yeah.
Okay. Good morning.
Hello. Not the great big one, I don't. But I could have it for you. Will you? Because I'm gonna have to keep minutes because it's a special meeting.
Yeah.
And actually, it looks like this is an 8.5 by 11 with the right now. Okay.
Oh, did,
Oh, you're taking
I
mine?
bet Sheila left that one.
Mine has scribbles on it. Just let me copy one
Okay.
and I'll bring it back to you.
Are you going upstairs?
I'm just making a copy.
I think this is one of the treasurer stuff. Also some procedures and
Oh, yeah, that could be.
Oh, I'm sure this
Oh,
was
Is this yours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was sitting right here.
Thank you.
our little Bible for finance.
Yeah.
you guys, when
There's one crap. Blue wave.
well, because you're here with the, oh, we're Friday now.
And John, you have a meeting at 10:30?
Yep, so I'll have to hop off here by 10:15.
For us, because we also have a meeting at 10:30.
Yeah, they have another.
We're on the same schedule today, huh?
I don't think we need to wait for Carolyn. We can just go ahead.
You
and
have a
start.
forum, so.
Yeah. We'll do a roll call then.
Johnston.
Here.
Yax.
Here.
Brady.
Harry is sick, excused. No excuse for Carolyn, I don't know what's going on there.
I don't either.
Hopefully everything's okay.
She was at 80%.
I think I just heard.
They can hear her.
I was gonna say, I thought I just heard her laughing.
I let Jen know the order of your packets, so it's probably how she'll review it with the health insurance rates first, and then your second sheet is your dental and your vision. Your third sheet is the life insurance, and the last sheet are the cost share options that have been put together. As well as, I believe, on the healthcare sheet, which Jen will review, it looks like at the bottom there for the 2025 new was a 15% cost share. And then I think the last sheet, if I let her review, was to keep, if it were to keep things kind of more towards like the same. Jen, I'm just off to the side here,
Okay.
but you can see the board. So whenever you want to begin.
All right, I'm ready if they are. All right, so on the medical renewal sheet, we have the current plan, the 2,000, 4,000 high deductible plan. HSA with an employer contribution of 1,000 for a single, 2,000 for a two-person or family. That came back from Blue Cross Blue Shield with a 8.26% increase. So if you look further down, once we combine it and we slope it based on your enrollment overall for that first plan, a 7.41% increase. This is where the majority of the participation is enrolled. So about a cost change from current is $40,676. And the cost share would increase for a single contract from $60.77. Or I'm sorry, you do the 15%. It would increase from $99.49 to $106.67. Two-person contract currently today is $233.77. That would increase to $251. And for a family today, it's $285.96. It would increase to $307.50 if you followed the 15% cost share. The second plan that we have in place is the BCN HMO non-HSA plan. There's only 7 members enrolled in this plan. That is a $2,000, $4,000 deductible. That received an 8.85% increase from Blue Cross. And with the lower enrollment, that's only an increase of $8,500. And so for a single on this plan, it increases from $96.85 to $105.42. A two-person contract today is $232.43, increasing to $253. And a family contract today is $290, increasing to $316.25. Do we have any questions on how that came through? No?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We can slow down for 1 second.
Yep.
And, help me to understand. So down in the combined on the bottom half of the document here. This, the 40,676 and the 8,501, that's the, how much more it will cost for the, employer? Is that what I'm seeing?
Say that again.
Okay, so down in the combined column, on the bottom half of the page.
Yep.
If you look at where current and renewal rates, and then underneath the, like, for example, on the current plan, HSA, the total of 589,367, which is 40,676 more than last year, right, or this year? I'm reading that.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And
And
that's,
then-
but that's not the county's cost, that is the total cost, so you would have to subtract any employee cost shares from that.
Oh,
At 15% of that 40,000.
okay.
Mhm.
It's probably at 32.
And the current that we pay is 15%? Currently,
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the HMO column is the increase of the 8,500. So on your left-hand side, the cost change overall is the 49,177.
Yep, that's for both plans combined.
there,
That's the total cost.
got it. But minus 15%
No,
because
it is,
that's what the 15% off,
no, it isn't,
No, it is not.
no, it's not.
so what's 15% of 50,
7,500.
$7,500? So we'd be at a 42-ish. To keep what we have now. So how many people do we have enrolled in HMO? And legal,
The non-HSA plan has 7 employees in it.
the other one has 34, got it. So one of the reasons, help me a little bit with this, guys, but one of the reasons we keep both of these is to offer, the HSA was in order to offer a cheaper plan, right? Than the HMO.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
it's not that much cheaper now.
No, it's there,
But the
okay.
deductibles kind of gone up, so. And the deductibles are. So, Jen, what is our, how far over the hard cap are we on these? You know?
If you look below it, the hard cap column shows exactly how much over hard cap you are per contract. So you're over hard cap for a single by $107.02. A 2-person, you're over hard cap by $256.85. And a family is $321.06, and that's monthly.
Oh, hard cap's 80/20.
We're just, oh, weird. I'm looking all up.
That's just the hard cap contributing the most that you can for a single contract, which is $7,718.26 annually. A 2-person, the hard cap is at $16,141.28. And a family, you can contribute up to $21,049.85.
We meet the hard cap with this 15% cost.
Yep, yep, you can do that. You just have to put it in your minutes that that's the cost share that you're taking.
What effect does, on the HSA, plan? So when you submit to Blue Cross to get the rates, you have to tell them if we're providing, dollar.
No.
You don't, so
No.
this is no forbearance on what they charge, what the rates are.
No, what you contribute to your employees' HSA does not affect those rates. We only gather that information so we can show you a true cost analysis in that column below that says HSA.
Okay.
We didn't bid another one, or did we? No. We didn't
We
even look at it.
We didn't this year. The only options you have up in your area would be Blue Cross and Priority Health, and the move from Priority Health last year over to Blue Cross
Yeah.
kind of causes some unease, so they won't always look at it the second year after you, or the first year after you leave.
Did have one of the groups, reach out and wondered about Mesa. The school has Mesa. I don't think you handle that, do you?
No, we do not.
Okay. I don't know, 8% is pretty good.
Yeah, compared to years past, for sure. I mean, it's been a long time since it's been at least under 10.
After double digits.
I think when we made the change back, it was over 10, wasn't it? Something like that. It was significantly better because it was gonna be 20-something% to stay. If I recall that properly, but it doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
Last year.
11.
Yeah,
What the increase was?
11%.
Jen, do you remember the prior year's increase, the percent?
I have it up right now. I can look real quick.
Well, for one, what Priority Health increase was,
it was over 20%.
was over
Yeah,
20%,
it was
yeah,
large, or else we wouldn't even entertain switching over.
right.
But I think our deductibles were lower too.
So you
Sure.
last year you got a 25.2% increase from Priority Health on the HSA plan, and the non-HSA plan got a 27%
Yep.
increase.
And then if I recall, the deductible has gone from 6, 7, and 8, like 3 years in a row. I think,
What do you mean 6, 7, and 8?
Back pay.
our deductible,
Like the out-of-pocket max.
out of pocket for the.
Oh, I
for-
see. For the HSA plan with Priority Health, it was at 3,500 or 7,000 for 2-person. When you jump over to Blue Cross, it increased to 4,000, 8,000. And then this year, stayed the same at 4,000, 8,000.
Deductibles didn't change at all, right? They're still.
No, there's
The deductible's the same. It's the out-of-pocket maximum went up by $500 when we switched from Priority. But with the non-HSA plan, that one actually went down because with Priority Health, that was at 9,100 and 18,200, and it decreased to 8,150 or 16,300.
Any magic things that would change that much?
The
Or we
out-of-pocket,
I mean, we've got a car where it's probably the best we can do for this price.
correct. Yeah, they don't really let you pick and choose the line items to change unless you had like a health reimbursement arrangement. But with that, we would have to buy a much higher deductible plan, and then you wouldn't fund the HSA. You would reimburse claims as they would come in.
Yeah, HR nightmare right there, okay.
Mhm. Quite a bit of more administrative burden, yes.
Slightly.
Fifteen to go over
And if you flip to your very last page, the one that says, it has the Alcona logo at the top and the Acrisure logo, is where we put together some cost share options if you wanted to look at something outside of the 15% that would be passed along to the members today. So if in meeting with Stephanie and Trina, we had discovered that the budgeted increase to the county was about 15%. So what would put the county's liability close to about $603,000. And so we found that the cost share to the employees that brings you closest to that number would be an 11% cost share. And so those are those columned costs that I have there. And it would bring the county's liability to around 617,000. So within a few $1,000s there. But I can always do a couple of other calculations to get closer to that 602 or 603,000.
So the first employer contribution is what we do now, the 1,000 and 2,000 or whatever, is that what that,
Yeah.
the current contribution?
I'm not talking about the HRA, I'm talking about employee cost per paycheck.
Like when you say the 11% cost share for the HSA with employer contribution, oh, employer, yeah, that's us. So we currently do 1,000 and 2,000?
Nope, we're not talking about funding the HSA. This is funding the premium for the employees.
Say the whole different
This is
thing.
the cost share options.
Yep, like the actual premium from Blue Cross, we're not discussing the HSA contribution at all. This is all encompassing. It would include that fund also. So overall, if we did an 11% cost share, the total liability on the county would be that $617,601 based on current enrollments.
I thought those two plans on that page were the same plan, one with contribution, one without. But it's
Nope.
not,
So no, there are two different plans. So the first one is the HSA where the county contributes 1,000 for a single, 2,000 for two or more enrolled. And then HSA, everything is applied to deductible until you meet that deductible, and then it's covered at 80%. That's what that 80 means, is after deductible. Where that other plan is very similar. It is also an HSA, and there is no employer contribution. There is a coinsurance maximum on that plan of the 2,500, 5,000. And the prescription card and everything else is pretty much the same, except for there are flat co-pays after deductible instead of 20% liability.
Did anything at all change with that, Jen, at the top for the, like you just said, the prescriptions, or
No, ma'am.
nothing changed?
No.
Okay. Now with the, dental though,
Let me hop over there. Yes.
we had a 5% increase on dental.
Yep. Yes. And that was increased, and that's their cap. So for the next year, next 2026 renewal also is capped at the maximum increase being 5%. And as you can see, dental premiums are much lower than medical premiums, so 5% doesn't hit as hard. So that annual increase is $1,917. And then vision is in a rate hold. So no increase this year.
Okay.
And then
And-
if you, oh, go ahead.
People were concerned with the switching to MetLife and losing the Delta Dental. I don't know if you can explain that better than I can.
So I think there was some discomfort with the switch from Delta Dental to MetLife because providers were under the impression they did not participate with MetLife. However, it's not MetLife in particular that they participate or do not participate with, it's the network. And they pay at a higher percentile. And so the employees aren't being balance billed. So I feel like we've put out all the fires that caused the confusion with that and the upset at the beginning of the year, and everybody's pretty happy with how the benefit's working now.
I had one that wasn't happy, he called me this morning. So,
Yeah,
yeah, we had one employee this morning, he called me and he wanted to see what was up with that. He feels like MetLife, they're not accepted. They have to pay up front. They don't have that kind of money to pay up front, and wondering if we were gonna look at anything else on that. And I said, well, I think Delta Dental was worse.
Mhm. Yes, and has he reached out to our patient advocate here on site at 44 North of Acrisure?
I'm not sure, but I'll definitely.
That would be his best route, because then her name's Kim Trzynski, she works with the providers and kind of takes that work off of the employee and figures out, one, why they're not billing, two, and just kind of helps facilitate that to take that off of the employee.
So he'll call Kim and Kim takes care of everything. She's actually working with Trina right now, and she's working with me.
It could be just like you get a big bill and you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
And she'll work with them upfront. Just to see if there's anything that they can do for one, but yeah.
usually she's able to help take that financial burden off the employee and put it back on the provider until they receive a payment from MetLife.
Okay.
And then if we hop over to life and disability, we switched to MetLife for that as well last year, and that is in a rate hold until January 1st of 2027.
Jen, back to dental, I don't think we've, the coverages,
What's that?
we've always had 1,000 annual maximum, right, as far as, did you
Correct.
remember?
Yeah.
I mean, what, you can't tell off the top of your head what kind, if we raise that to 2,000, or if we did anything different on, probably not.
So 2000 is a little steep. The average that we see for any employee or employer is 1,000 or 1,500. We can run it to see what that would look like, most certainly. It would take, I believe we're probably out about 2 weeks for seeing those come back. Do you want
Well-
to see that for this year?
Yeah, we increase our, like, cost, but
Yeah, so it would increase your cost.
on the, wait,
And plus it just went up 5%.
Yeah.
Too.
You do want to see options on that?
not yet, I just brought it up. Anybody else hang it?
I mean, the only thing you could do is if we had entertained that, would be, if the employee wanted that higher deductible, they could pay more.
Right, yeah,
They could pay the
The
difference.
employees don't pay towards the debt limit.
Well, I understand, I'm just saying that if we wanted
Something
to,
offset them.
if we wanted to offer a plan to have the 2,000, like you said, the employee could cover the difference. I think a family with a lot of dental.
Yeah.
Things going on.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking.
Regular doctor, the
Like
when
everybody
everybody's
does
doing
training there.
I can just say back when we were Blue Cross Blue Shield, Priority Health, BCN, I have never seen anything other than a maximum of $1,000.
Yeah, I know, that's as long as I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
I want it.
that is pretty standard.
Just an interesting option to think about, but yeah, you don't have to run any numbers on that, I don't think.
Okay.
And the life insurance, basically, there was no increase on that either, right?
No increase until 2027.
Huh? And vision.
And vision.
And vision, correct. But that's just until next year, 2026.
Yeah, increase on vision.
Were there any other cost share options that you wanted to see on the medical? I have on that last page, 10%, 11%, and 15%. 15% is also on that first medical renewal spreadsheet as to what the employee would pay. I didn't break it down for all of them on this last page, but the 11% is on there, and obviously I can show the 10% relatively easy as well.
$15 right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Budgeted for 10. And to keep the costs comparable to what we're paying now is the 11%.
There's need to be a maximum of $40,000. The reality, that's not quite 2/3 of the year of pay. There was a day when $40,000 would have covered more than 1 year's pay. But those days are long gone, and I think I know they are not going to look at it as a benefit, because we made the decision to, if we were to make the decision to do it. But I think there's some merit in at least checking out how much more it would be if we increased that one.
The $40,000 policy is only for, the $40,000 policy is only for police officers and EMS. The $10,000 policy is for county employees.
It's class 1, class 2.
They're classed differently in the life insurance. So that $40,000 one benefit is for full-time police.
Right,
So like,
that's what I'm reading,
Just clarifying.
full-time police, $40,000.
I didn't know if you realize that that's only for the police.
Well, it says police,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying, that respectfully, that's not a full year's pay. God forbid anything would have happened to them. I would like to ask the question, if we were to up that to say 60,000 or 70,000, how much more would that cost us?
Do you want to see that for plan year for 2025?
You can put those numbers together if you would. Let's,
Increase for police to 60,000.
Yeah, just the police one.
Okay,
I realize 10,000 isn't gonna help a clerk or whatever, but
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry, I said I realize that then you go down one line to an administrative position and it's 10,000. Well, that 10,000 is not going to do, it's going to do less for that employee than the 40, leaving it at the 40 would do for the police. We also need to look at EMS. If we're gonna look at police, we need to look at EMS.
And look at both,
I-
of them, look at them all.
Pardon?
Probably don't need to look at them all.
Yeah. But
But yeah, for, when we go for next year, we can definitely, we'll remember to request just looking at some different, or the higher.
Did we get the costs now to see what that would cost or soon?
Like I said, we would have to send that out for underwriting to MetLife, so it would be a couple week turnaround. But we most certainly can, just to see where you would be at to better prepare for next year. So you want to see police at 60,000. Where did you want to see admin?
15.
15 for admin.
Two
Same
or
for,
three.
same
And
for
see-
non-union.
15 on that one. I'm sorry, Karen, just a second. And then we'll go, 40 on EMS.
Okay. Okay. I can do
But-
that.
Get it broken down, say, if we only did, the police and nobody else changed, you know? If you can, I know it's complicated,
Nope, that's
but-
right.
if we can get information, you know, singular basis, you know, what the rates, or how the rates change.
Okay. I can do that. Yep, like I said, it would be a couple weeks and we could still put it in place for this year. I think the biggest thing to move forward with building our Navigator platform for open enrollment for the employees is knowing if we're moving forward with dental vision health benefits as they are and what the cost shares will be.
Right. Okay. Does anybody, oh, here have any questions or input for this?
I only a little bit on the last, the accidental death for a police officer. And my guys, if they're killed in the line of duty, there are a ton of insurance programs out there outside of the county.
Sure.
Death and dismemberment, I mean, so, not that I'm turning down, you know, whatever's the Carol's talking about offering here, but, they're very well taken care of if they die in the line of duty. The accidental death and dismemberment, maybe not so much, or dismemberment, but deaths are, they're very well taken care of.
Okay.
This is. Yes, regardless of on the job or not, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, what Scott was saying that in addition to this, if they were to be killed in the line of duty, there'd be additional monies to them.
Yeah, there's. state,
Oh,
federal-
okay, then,
state, federal
that's
programs.
different, then. I withdraw my concern.
Well, go ahead and run the numbers anyway.
Okay.
Because I think it would, you know, we probably had the same rate to go for what? Forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I-
One time, the
Well-
one year's pay.
Are we gonna have this handy? You wanna get?
Well, let's get numbers, at least we can talk about it.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
There's no reason why we can't get some numbers together. It doesn't cost us anything to get.
That was kind of my idea behind the dental commission, too,
Yeah.
cheapest company to do, but we'll talk about it. Seems as though we're not moving on the medical, I guess, but.
Yes, I would really like to see a breakout if there is such a thing. If they were to die in the line of duty, while they, while they're on duty. Is the ones that you're talking about, are they when they are on duty or off or,
Yeah,
pardon?
they're on duty.
When they're on duty, it's applicable. Okay,
I don't think this program is on or off duty.
right, right. And it's all important, and heaven forbid we should bring to life anybody, whether they're on or off duty. But particularly if they're on duty, I'd like to see us cover them for a year or so, whatever.
That sounds okay.
And that's true with EMS
Sit on
too.
your face.
It's not just for, guys and gals.
So I have, one more health insurance question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer already. It's gonna take some calculation or whatever. But, there's no benefit to narrowing this down to say if we just wanted to offer the HMO.
Without the HSA and the contributions.
I mean, not from we know the contribution is something else we have talked about, and that's outside of your, purvey, but, we offer the two plans now. If we're just to offer only the HMO, we'd have a mass movement over there. Would the HMO then be more costly than, just off the top of your head?
Yes, because you're putting the whole liability on that one plan.
Okay.
Yep, and then you wouldn't be able to contribute any HSA plan or any HSA dollars to that plan because it's not set up that way.
In this two-choice system, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I. Sure.
All right, is there any other cost situations that you want me to put together for you?
You guys think about, I don't know, if we did just, since HMO is more, if we had 7 people on HMO, it's not that big a difference.
No.
I don't know, I don't think so. I mean, the increases, like stated before, is not nearly as bad as what we've seen in the past. Any increase is bad, but you can classify this as good because it's half of what we expected. You guys want any kind of situations around here? Okay. Well, I think that's probably it then.
Okay, and will you guys be voting on the cost share, what you'll be passing on to the employees at today's meeting?
Let's see, the second meeting in October. So, and then we open up November, is enrollment.
Jen, when's
Let me look
weekend?
at, we did talk on that, let me see. Katrina, do you remember?
I thought it was around November, maybe the 24th or something. I'll write it down.
The 25th through was it a week that we had it open?
I think we had it too because of the holiday for Thanksgiving.
The 25th through the 6th of December.
So if they didn't decide at today's meeting, it would be the first meeting in November.
Yes, and would that just be for the cost share? Because that would be cutting it close for us building the online site.
The employer navigator needs to be updated so the employees can go in and do that. So they need time to do that.
Well, invitation I was Terry's not here today, but it is what it is.
We don't have a firm answer on that yet, Jen.
Yeah, we'll have to let you know.
Okay. All right, I'll reach out to Trina and Stephanie just to get that information as we move along. Is there any other questions I can answer today?
Else? Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much for meeting with us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll reach out with that MetLife information as soon as I receive it, okay?
Thanks.
All right, have a good day.
how hard would it be to get together our total cost for, the HSA contribution by?
Employer?
Yeah,
I could get it
Easy,
to
we
you.
just gotta pull the voucher.
that's something we good information to discuss at the meeting at 1:30.
Okay.
As far as, if we wanna mitigate. Say we wanna wipe out this 9%, we could find some areas to do it.
Well, and the other thing too would be on that 49,000 for the cost change to figure out the employees' contribution of the 15%, but like you said, you pretty much figured out with the $7,500.
Right. Whatever additional information you guys would think would be prudent, bring it to the meeting this afternoon, whatever you have time to put together.
Okay.
But I definitely wanna see, the total costs for whatever, the current enrollment, right, not for trying to anticipate where people are gonna move to or whatever. But currently what, this year's total contribution is towards the HSA, payments that we make on their health, on their.
The
It
buyout,
actually went down, because when you started the 15% increase, a lot of participants switched to the straight plan.
Yeah, okay.
cause we only had like 3 or 4 in that for a while, didn't we?
Yeah,
Well, it's still 34-7.
And now we're at 7.
The majority is still in.
we have
that
an
HSA.
uptick on opt-outs too, so.
Well, you know what, our buyout
We'll bring that to,
numbers,
Oh, yeah, buyout numbers, yeah, that's good idea. I would also
About
give good
$85,000.
information.
Can I ask if the
85,000.
buyout is gonna move anywhere? With everything else increasing tremendously?
Everything's on the table right now, there's no, I don't know. Don't know how it's gonna go down yet.
But if you look at that insurance rate and what they cover, this is the 15%.
Right.
It's not a huge increase.
But what I mean
And
from
it is,
going from where we didn't pay a deductible to even at the 15%, that's $300 a week for a family versus not paying. And when that increase happened, nothing happened with the buyout. That never got increased at all. It stayed the same. Does that make sense?
But I can say, I'm sorry, I'm speaking.
No, go ahead.
Well, I can say we are one of the counties that pay the highest buyout.
Okay.
Yeah, big time. The buyout total is like $85,000.
I think the biggest concern the employees are gonna have is the increase in the employer portion of what they're gonna have to pay on their plan per pay.
I mean, yeah, and our deductible's huge. Yeah. There's where you see your cost, not so much in,
Right.
getting used to paying for health insurance.
Anything else, guys? Carolyn? Okay. Then we'll, recess until 1:30.
That's just the clerk hat, but yeah, right, I don't wanna say. Call it the treasurer's hat and the clerk's hat. But we're the bad guys. So don't matter. Yeah, we are.
Can I take a couple of these?
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that